Title your notes, Algebra Review. Write down example 1. It says solve for x. Don't yell anything out. I know you're excited. 3x equals 36. Now let me remind you some things about algebra. When you are solving for x, you want to undo everything that's being done to x. Have you ever pressed the undo button on the computer? I press it a lot. Have you ever done something wrong when you're working on a Word document or a PowerPoint or I don't know what else you work on? And you're like, no! And you just press undo and it goes right back to how it was before. And it's a wonderful button. Anyways, we want to undo everything that's being done to x. So let's talk about how we would undo addition. Alejandro, what's the opposite of addition? Awesome. Subtraction. Niet, how would we undo multiplication? What's the opposite of multiply? What? Starts with a D. Divide. Divide. Opposite of multiply is divide. And then we don't use this one as often, but not here today. Alex, do you know what the opposite of squaring something is? Squaring. We did it last unit a little bit with the distance formula. Like this. Square root. Very good. Okay. These are called inverse operations. Not that you need to know that. But these undo each other. They cancel each other out. So right now, what is being done to x? Which one of these operators? What does that say? 3 divided by x? It says 3 times x. What is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So you're like, Stan, we already knew how to do this before you even started talking, but I'm just laying the groundwork, okay? Do this with me. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. This is going to get rid of our 3 divided by 3. That is just 1. So our 3's are gone. And now we need to see what it looks like on the right. X equals, what is 36 divided by 3? Say it again. 12. Done. End of story. X equals 12. We could plug it back in if we wanted to check, but we're going to move on because that one was basic. Moving on. Write down example number 2 in your notes. This one has a little bit more going on. What did your algebra teachers tell you to remember the order of operations? What was the PIMDOS? Is that still okay? Do they say like please excuse my urine at Sally or something? Do they say something different? Trinity like, what are you talking about? Okay, never mind. We want to undo everything that's being done to x, but there's a certain order we have to do it in. So let me give you a hint. We're not going to divide by 4 first. That's not what we're going to do first. What do you want to do first? What do you think, Seth? Subtract 3. The opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. Whatever you do to one side, you must also do to the other. Okay. On the left, the 3's cancel because 3 minus 3 is 0. But don't forget what was already there. Don't leave out that 4x. He was already there, so that's on the left. And then on the right, 19 minus 3. Everybody, 16. Mark's not here. Jonathan, what do you want to do next? Divide by 4. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. Whatever you do to one side, you must also do to the other. Boom, you're gone. Out of there. Just like a home run. X equals 16 divided by 4. 4. I can just tell most of you are like, this is so boring. We already know how to do this. If you wanted to plug it back in, you could. 4 times 4 plus 3, and you'll get 19. You should always plug it back in to check your answer. Try this one. This one you'll have to combine like terms. This one we haven't done yet with a variable. Do we get out some notes, or you already like you do this in your head? Okay. This one, there's a couple different things you could do first. So there's not one thing that you have to do first, but let me give you a hint. This one is going to have a negative answer, and Alex, you're not allowed to give up yet. Nope, not allowed. This one is going to have a negative answer. Oh, I see y'all doing something that your algebra teachers probably taught you. Did they teach you to do this? I see some people do. No? Yes. Does that ring a bell? To like divide up which is on which side of the equal sign. Well, they might have. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Trinity, what would you like to do first? There's a couple different things you could do. We want to get all of our x's on one side and all of our integers on the other side. What did you say it was, right? Add 6. The opposite of minus is plus. So I want every student in this room to add 6 to both sides. Why did I put the 6 underneath the 1 and not underneath the 2x? It's called the like term. You don't add an x to an integer, so be careful. That is gone. You're out of here. X equals 2x plus 7. 6 plus 1. This is where I promised it's going to get negative. I promised it would be negative. What is the opposite of positive 2x? Negative 2x. Now, I would have maybe moved the 1 over and the x over, but this is not wrong. This is not wrong. So, if I want to move this guy over here, I have to do the opposite. I have to do the opposite of positive 2x. I have to do minus 2x, and whatever you do to one side, you must also do to the other. As soon as I do that, I like to cross it out so I don't get confused by that term. He's gone. This one's tricky. What number is sitting in front of this x that's just understood? Is it a 0? No, it's a 1. Very good. What's 1 minus 2? Negative 1. Good, yeah, good. So you can put negative 1x, or you can just put negative x. I like negative x better because you don't have to write the 1. And that equals, what's left? 7. Negative, so we have negative x equals 7. Have we solved for x? No, we've solved for negative x. Do you remember what to do here? X can't be negative, so what do I do? You could just change everybody's sign. It's the same as dividing by negative 1. You just change everyone's sign. If you want him to be positive, well then the 7 has to be negative. It's the same as is called dividing by negative 1. All right, the answer was x equals negative 7. Now, you're taking a quiz, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if my answer's right. I just don't know. That looks weird. So you go to your calculator, and you do negative 7 minus 6. You get a number. And then you do 2 times negative 7 plus 1. And both times, you should get negative 13. If they equal each other, then you did it right. And don't worry, we did it right. All right, try this one. Example 4. Write it down. Negative 8 minus x equals 3x plus 2. Same mistake. What are you doing to us? This one's also negative. Because you've already been through algebra. You can handle this. Yasmin, what would you like to do first? We need to start moving things. I recommend moving this guy first. How do I move him? Yeah. Let's add x to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you must also do to the other. I can draw this line if that helps people. So this one is gone. Goodbye. Sayonara. See ya. Adios. What's left on the left? I like saying that. What's left on the left? What's left over? Having leftovers for dinner tonight. Okay. 3x plus x.
4x.
Thank you. Look alive, class. 4x plus 2. Okay. Now don't undo your hard work. Don't bring this 8 over. I could do plus 8 to both sides. But then what would happen? I'd have nothing left on the left. You need to make sure to get your x's on one side. We already got them to the right. So we need to get our numbers to the other side. What's the opposite of plus 2? Minus 2. Gone. Negative 8 minus 2. If you don't know, ask your calculator. Negative 8 minus 2. Negative 10. Negative 10 equals 4x. Now, I did not pull up my calculator on the board, and it actually takes a long time to pull up. I want everyone to go to your calculator right now with me. I need to see it in your hand. Calculator in your hand. I want you to type -10. Type -10. And what are we doing? How are we solving for x? Divided by 4. Oops. -10 divided by 4. What does it give you? A decimal, right? -2.5. Now, that is what I call a pretty decimal. But if that decimal went on forever, let's pretend we got -2.3 repeating. Do you know how to turn that into a fraction? What? Well, 2 1/3, yes. But do you know how to make the calculator turn it into a fraction? I want everyone to press the math button. Do you know where that is? Math. And then press enter, enter. Have you heard that before? Math, enter, enter? What is it as a fraction? -5/2. Math, enter, enter. So that's how you turn a decimal into a fraction without doing any work on your own. Math, enter, enter. So the correct answer is -5/2 or -2.5. Because guys, you know on the test, what if the answer choices are in fraction form, not in decimal form? You need to know how to go back and forth. Okay, the last thing I want to do with you before I give you your worksheet is I want to practice rounding. Okay? I want you to round to the nearest tenth, and I want you to round this number. Give me that number to the nearest tenth. Yes, use your calculator. Do it. Use your calculator. I want to make sure you know how to round. That one's already rounded. Sorry, guys. Let me make a worse one. So when you do 9 divided by 33, you get 0.272727. What is that? Rounded to the nearest 10. Do y'all know what the places are called? What's this place called? Tenths. Nearest tenth. What's this place called? Hundredths. What's this place called? Thousands. So tenths, hundredths, thousands. So I want to round it to this place. That 2 needs to ask their neighbor, hey neighbor, do I say a 2 or do I get promoted? And what does its neighbor say? You get promoted. What's the answer? 0.3. Okay? Do this one in your calculator and round it to the nearest tenth. Square root, you press second and then the x squared. Good. What is that one rounded to the nearest tenth? 4 point, only one decimal place. Don't go any further. It's just 4.1. Awesome.